My name is Larissa Lago. I'm 43 years old, and I was an alcoholic in denial. So my drinking was always an issue, but it got worse after my second marriage, my last marriage. It was more of a dictatorship than it was a marriage, and controlling, emotionally, mentally, physically abusive. And he made sure of that. So the drinking started after I had our second child. Calculating it when he got home, I would go to sleep and drink way before I started to go to sleep, so that when he hit me in the middle of the night, which he said was sleepwalking, I would be passed out and I wouldn't feel it. There were holes in my walls that I had to cover with pictures, and he never admitted it, and I never told anyone. I was ashamed, and we went to therapists, and I thought, he's gonna change. Things are gonna work out. But the fact that I gave up everything, I just ended up losing everything.
Hello. My name is James Emmanuel Jones. I am 50 years young. Um, Grateful. Woke up this morning, so that was a pretty good start for my day. Um, I was raised between Denver and Los Angeles, California. Um, I had a wonderful mother, but she struggled. She struggled to raise four boys, and a little girl. Father was never really, he was kind of in and out of the picture. At an early age, I got tired of seeing my mom cry and worry about how she was going to pay the bills. And through the influence of other cats in the neighborhood, um, I started my life of crime. We would steal stuff. We'd steal, or our Robin Hood ventures, we would go and rob from the rich um, to help the poor, you know what I mean? And that started with my cocaine addiction. Um, Shortly after starting my life of crime, I noticed the fellas were pitching in and they would all go get them cocaine, do some lines. I jumped in with them and loved it. I got in trouble for selling drugs and possession of weapons. In 1991, I was sentenced to a lengthy stay in at the Department of Corrections. Being taken out of society for that long and then just being thrown back in. So my way to cope is the way I'd always coped. I went back to my comfort zone. I went back to drinking and getting high and stuff. And before I know it, I was right back down that same miserable path of life. I love this place. This place has saved my life. It's nothing like what someone may think. It's not a program. This is a residential housing community that provides housing for people who are waiting for housing or who struggle with housing or homelessness. But they do also cater to drug and alcohol abuse or whatever other issues you may have here. I love the fact that they don't shove it down your throat. It's kind of an oxymoron. You can come here and you can learn and be all you want to be, or you can come here and you can sit on your ass. I can't say enough about the coalition. I'm going on 16 months clean and sober. Um, I'll forever be affiliated with Fort Lyons and the crew here. They don't kick anybody out the door. It's supposed to be a 2-year program, but if they see you striving to do something, they will work with you until they get you to where you need to be. Just the peace of mind that I've been given since being here. Fort Lyons affords you the time to take the time. And when I say that, they afforded me time to take the time. They afforded me time to focus on my health. They afforded me time to focus on issues that I have. They afforded me time to work out what it is that I want to do with my life with no pressure. They helped me, you know what I mean? I used to be so embarrassed to tell people, hey, it is what it is now.
I was my mom's caregiver at the time. I was, just early in recovery, and one of our best friends who were residents out here told me about a peer specialist job that was opened here at the fort, and she thought I'd be a good fit for it, so I applied for it, and behold, I kept bugging Lynn daily. I kept calling her daily. Hey, I just want to let you know I'm interested in the job. She told me, Juan, you don't need to call. We understand that you're interested in the job. So that following week, I had an interview. So from there, it's just been history. I just love what I do here. It's a very rewarding job. I am Native American. I'm Apache. So, when they interviewed me, they asked me about doing some Native Americans programs here. So I implemented Sweat Lodge. I do the Red Road to Sobriety. We do a feather meeting also. I like to teach non-natives the native culture because they don't really understand what it's about, you know what I'm saying? And they really respect that. When you're going into a sweat lodge, you're going in there, you're going back into your mother's womb. You know what I'm saying? When we start the fire, that means the ceremony has started. When we're going into our mother's womb again, we're going back in there to cleanse our bodies, to get rid of all this negativity and the toxins that we have polluted our body with. And they're going to go back into Mother Earth, and she's going to take them from us. And it's just beautiful to watch these guys come out of there and see that they're different. You can see it in them, that they're totally different, that everything has changed in them. I don't know what it is, but it's just beautiful. I love going into the lodge because, like I said, it purifies, cleanses my body, and I feel new again. And it's not just for natives. It's for everybody. We're here to heal and help everybody that we can.
So we went through a divorce, and I got pushed out of a moving vehicle. And so as soon as I got home from the hospital, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and I had barely had memory. I didn't even know my youngest son was still alive. He was only about 3 at the time. And I got home, and my wing on my arm was broken, so I couldn't perform my quote-unquote wifely duties. So he kicked me out, and I had no job, I had no income. He cut me off all of the accounts, and I was severely depressed. And I just decided, I'd rather die. I can't be a mom. He wouldn't even bring my children to the place where I lived in Colorado because it was low income. I got a DUI, and that pretty much sealed my fate. I could not see my kids. So every time we'd go to court, and mind you, it was monthly, I'd be in the courtroom. And every time I left, I would get drunk. I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to deal with it. I just wanted to pass out. Then it got to the point where it was medicine. It wasn't just to not feel the pain. I couldn't function without alcohol. I got pancreatitis. So therefore, I got malnutrition. I lost all my hair. It went from being down the middle of my back to literally nothing. I didn't care if I lived or died. But with all of that, it's just been a really interesting adventure, I'd say, because finally I thought, I have to get help. I tried 2 different rehabilitation centers. I didn't last more than 2 months. Didn't want to do it. Forced this, forced that. Well, you can't change if you don't want to. Everything can be there, but if you don't want it, it's not going to happen. So I got here, and I could not believe what I walked into. So now I'm in school, and I'm in all kinds of different groups here. And of course, AA, I love getting those chips, and I love sharing. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I can change. I can actually be a new person, something I never, first of all, would admit, and second of all, didn't have the energy for. But now I'm so motivated. The people here in the program, it's just, there can't be enough to be said for what's being done here. It's a life-changing. It's not just a substance abuse or a housing program. It's a life-changing opportunity. I have a therapist, I have residents, I have staff. I just have a lot of help that I would not have. I'd be on my own again. And so while I'm here, I knew I could change exactly everything I destroyed.